It is a Saturday. What are we doing here?
Hello, my strong friends. Today, we're gonna take you in one of my one-on-one sessions. I've been coaching clients on Saturdays in person, which is really exciting. Today, we have Vanessa as our first client, and she is 18 weeks pregnant now. We're gonna take you guys through a prenatal training session. So you have a personal trainer, and then you have someone like me who, my lifters are gonna come in today, and we're really focused on technique and improving their technique so that they can have basically like, our plan is 4 sessions with me, and then hopefully they can fly and be free and be able to take what they learn in our kind of workshops and continue using those technique changes. So it's not exactly what you would expect in a general one-on-one trainer where you're seeing them on a weekly or multiple times a week basis. With Vanessa, today we're gonna look at her deadlift, which is great because we are currently focused on deadlift queens. Hopefully you guys get some cues. I haven't seen her deadlift yet. Her squat is amazing. So last week, the session was, I don't want to say it was boring, but the squat portion of it was boring because she had very few feedback from me. So we'll take a look at her deadlift, and we are also focused on her pelvic floor and thinking about how can I protect my pelvic floor while I'm lifting as pregnancy progresses. So we'll talk about that, some breathing drills, and all kinds of prenatal strength training advice in this video. Everyone, this is the lovely Vanessa.
Hi.
She's amazing. Second pregnancy?
Yes.
And
yes.
you're 18 weeks?
Actually, I miscalculated. I'm actually 19 as of Thursday.
Okay.
So
Congratulations.
almost halfway.
Yeah. 20 weeks is when you get the anatomy scan, right?
I actually got it this past week.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Everything's good?
Yes.
Ah, that's so exciting. Did you get to see a
Yeah.
close of the baby?
Yeah, it wasn't a 3D one, but I got to see like her face, her little toes. Well, I couldn't really see her toes, but like her feet, like she looks more like a human now.
Yeah.
Instead of like a little blob.
Yeah. And it's a she. So did you just find out it's a
Yeah, I
girl?
just found
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, because last week I didn't think we knew that it was a girl.
Yeah.
I am terrified to have a boy, so I hope if I have another, it's 2 girls. I want a girl party. Okay, so let me give you guys an overview and you an overview. We're gonna warm up and work on some of the breathing that we did last week. I have a couple of new exercises to kind of keep cueing some of that stuff. And then we're gonna do deadlifts today.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that?
Yes,
Okay, cool. So we'll do an assessment, see how it is. Quick question, do you pull conventional or sumo?
I do both.
Oh, okay, cool. Later on in pregnancy, sometimes sumo can just be more comfortable as your belly grows. So we can look at both and sort of give you cues on both too. Let's just do 5 minutes on the Airdyne. I mean, it does depend on if you have a C-section or a vaginal birth. That's when your pelvic floor is a lot weaker than even at the latest stage of pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that's where when you start introducing lifting, increasing the pressure, but your pelvic floor is still healing, you want to control the breath. No matter what you, like when I'm walking, my intra-abdominal pressure is increased as opposed to when I'm standing. When I'm talking, it's increasing and it's just moving. So what we're doing when we breathe through the lift is, okay, I'm gonna increase the pressure. That's inevitable. So instead of increasing it further and putting more pressure on the pelvic floor, I'm gonna try to manage it a little bit better. Let's do hands on the ribs and focus on the lateral expansion. So breathing into our hands on the inhale. So we breathe in and our ribs are pushing into our hands. And then when we exhale, it just kind of falls back. So we're gonna breathe in and expand. Yeah, that looks good. And then exhale is gonna fall back. Let's just do 4 more there. Breathe in, expand. When you breathe in, try not to move up here. Try to relax that. You can even like shake it out a little bit. Might help. So yeah, bring those shoulders down and focus expanding, like 360 expansion. Okay, the next one, we're still gonna focus on that lateral expansion, but we're gonna do a little bit of a side bend. And this, since we're stretching here, we'll think about breathing into this side. So it's just a way to work on kind of that like rib mobility where you're like expanding the ribs and falling back. So you can bring one arm overhead and go to the side. You don't have to crazy stretch or anything, but just feel a stretch in the side body. And then you could even take your other hand if you can reach it and try to feel those ribs expanding. It's not gonna be as much of an expansion, but let's try to inhale and expand over there. So you'll feel like a tiny bit of movement. It's not as much as when you're just upright.
Yeah.
Before we get in front of a barbell, let's just add some movement and think about when we're doing that movement, how does the breath go? The deadlift, the exertion as the first part of the lift. So the hard part when intra-abdominal pressure is going to be most heavy or most pressure is going to be this pull on the way up. So we're going to breathe in when we're down here about to set up on the bar, and then we're going to start the exhale when we're pulling up. So we start the exhale and then have that pelvic floor pulling up on the exhale. So pelvic floor contraction always happens on when we're breathing out. You almost give yourself a little bit more time because you can like breathe out, breathe in, and then exhale on the way up. You can start to find a flow, but we can always like set the bar down, reset, whatever. That's just a primer before we get to even 45 pounds. Intra-abdominal pressure compared to when you're lifting the bar versus when you're lifting 200 pounds is going to be a lot different. So when you are doing like a side plank, you can just keep breathing as normal, try not to overthink it, but you do want to get more intentional when the bar's loaded, when you know you're going to go pretty heavy. Yeah. Bench, you do want to think about it, but the pressure is going to be so much more on a deadlift. You're standing up, maybe you're in sumo, your legs are wide. The pressure is going to be so much more there, even compared to like when you're overhead pressing. It's like max overhead press for me would be like 90 pounds versus max deadlift could be like almost close to 300 pounds right now. So yeah. Show me how you do it, and then we'll see how we can work with that to improve. If the bar were to roll with my hands and they're both facing this way, then it could fall out. But when I switch it, if the bar rolls in this hand, it just rolls back into this other one. It's just resisting gravity a little bit, and you can improve. It's harder to grip it like this, so you can improve your grip like that. For this weight, let's see what double overhand looks like, and then if it feels too heavy, then we can switch.
Okay.
Good. It looks really good. You have a good foundation. There's one thing that you're doing, super common for people to do, is that you like roll the bar down your legs. Do you feel like your knees are getting in the way?
Yes, that's why I can't ever wear shorts.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you this cue. Some people are like, oh, I get it, boom. And then some people struggle because they're just so used to doing that and like lowering it down that way. Yeah. So basically the only change you're gonna make is on the way down, instead of bending both your knees and hips at the same time. So right now you're going like this. Okay. You're just gonna push hips back. So when you set it down, just push hips back, keep those knees where they are. So you're like picking it up one way and then you're like reversing the exact same movement, which is good. That's like what you would do in the squat. But you don't want your knees to run into the bar. It's kind of annoying when, So think about lifting. The lift looks great. Think about just pushing hips back on the way down. So let's try 3 reps, and I'm gonna remind you, I'm gonna talk you through it. Okay. So now, just push hips back. Don't bend the knees.
Don't bend the knees?
Don't do it. Oh. So just push the hips back and like set it down. Yeah. That's it. That's really all it is. Okay, so just push the hips back. Yes. Yeah, and so you're kind of like dragging the bar down still, which is fine. I mean, you can let it get away from you a little bit.
Okay. Oh, I'm
not a ton, but you just don't have to slide it down. So the difference is, this is you right now. Okay. What I want you to do is lift up, hips back. So it's almost like you're stiff leg deadlifting it down. Look at like where I start. My knees are bent. That's where I start, but this is where I end. So this is my start position, this is my end position. Instead of, I don't like reverse the movement, right? Like I don't bring my knees forward at all on the way down. I just set it down, just like whoop. And you want to keep your back strong, like you don't want to hunch over and lazily put it down. But you don't need to bring your knees forward on the way down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So think just hip back.
Okay.
Let the bar even pull you forward just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. They always say like, oh, keep the bar close to you. That's for on the way up.
Okay.
And I mean, you don't want the bar to come all the way out on the way down,
Yeah.
but it can come away from the bottom part of your legs a little bit. So maybe when you're programming at home, think about doing lots of upper back, maybe doing some rows. So it'll give you more confidence being okay with just pushing the hips back.
Okay.
And maybe even program it in some stiff leg deadlifts, which will mean you'll force yourself to stay in this position the whole time where your knees aren't coming forward at all.
Yeah.
Nice. That's much better than your first couple of sets just because you're changing that. I don't have that many cues for your conventional. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And we haven't even done the breath work yet. But with this weight, it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Focus on your cue now, and then we can introduce that later. Okay, let's do some sumo. It's the same thing.
The same thing.
Uh-huh.
It's running into.
Do your pants get ripped?
No, but I always have lots of bruises.
Yeah. Can you hear your pants like shh? It's the same thing.
Okay.
So yeah, when you come, your deadlift looks really good though. You're just a really good lifter. It's the same thing, just hips first and then the knee. But I feel like you will pick that up because you've been working on it already. I told her if I saw her in the random gym, I would say, oh, she knows what she's doing.
Damn, dude, you never
Look
said that about me.
Well, I already know you know what you're doing. I've known you for too long.
It does look really good though.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that makes me feel, because I want to lift until I'm like 100 years old. So
Yes.
like until I can't anymore. So
The confidence bit is really
Yeah.
important because I feel like you did come in here, wanting to do these sessions because you weren't sure if your form looked good. And it's easy to feel that way, especially if you're training alone, if you don't always film your sets. But hopefully it's worth it just knowing like, yeah, I'm lifting well and I'm lifting in a way that's not going to set me up for any failure, meaning like any injury. I mean, like, yeah, when someone goes super, super heavy and they're very beginner and their form looks like crap, yeah, that can cause, you're more likely to experience an injury or a strain or just like frequent injuries to where you just don't want to lift anymore. So it is great that your long-term goals, yeah, I want to lift till I'm 100, me too. So having someone and seeing your form and being sort of a student of the barbell is something that will get you there for sure. And I think you're well on that path, so. Good job. Don't cry.
especially being pregnant, I'm more emotional.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know exactly what you mean. So wait, how long have you been lifting?
On and off since like 2017.
Okay, so quite a few years.
But I took off 2 years.
You didn't lift when you were pregnant last pregnancy, right?
I completely gave it up because I guess everyone around me made me scared to lift.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a miscarriage, you're just gonna lose your baby, and then just put all these fears in my head, so I didn't do it. But then I saw all these pregnant women lifting super heavy, so I was like, I can do it too.
Yeah, sometimes our family members mean well, and I heard that too, even on like Instagram comments from, I would consider my community to be very aware of what's possible when pregnant, but still you get people who have this misconception that, oh, you shouldn't do anything when you're pregnant, but it's like, that's not realistic, and that's also historically just not true. Women have had babies since the beginning of time. So it's just like, and they're living their lives and they have to work and take care of other children. That's one thing that I've never understood. Oh, you can't lift. I mean, on here, this is 90 pounds. Oh, you can't lift. Like, many women have a 40, 50 pound baby while they're pregnant that they need to take care of and are picking them up, picking other babies up with a car seat. And like, being a mom is a physical demanding job. So it's just like, you need to be strong. And especially when you build strength, let's say, in your upper body, you're preparing your body because your body's growing this way. So if your body's growing this way and all your mass is coming this way, you need a strong back to be able to support that so you don't have pain, so that you're not bedridden and not able to take care of your other responsibilities and children. It's our responsibility to be strong. Yeah. Hips back first. Yeah. Yeah, that one was your best one. Nice. Let's do just one more. Nice. Okay, so come down, get in your start position, like you're about to pull out. Okay, so inhale right now. Exhale and pull up. Yes. Inhale on the way down. Exhale, pull up. Nice. Inhale on the way down. Exhale, pull up. Nice. Inhale on the way down. Exhale, pull up. Nice. Let's do 2 more reps. Inhale on the way down. Exhale, pull up, pelvic floor up. Yes. Inhale on the way down. Last rep. Exhale, pull up, pelvic floor pull up. Nice. That's it. And that's how you connect the breath. Yeah. Did your back feel okay with that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Vanessa had a back injury years ago, and so one of the things that she mentioned was that, she didn't brace properly. So you have to realize when you're a pregnant client and you're starting to do some of the breath control and managing your intra-abdominal pressure by exhaling on exertion and pelvic floor contraction on exertion, you do sacrifice that Valsalva maneuver, that increasing the pressure for the safety of your spine. So it's kind of like a give take. Like, you have to be aware that you are sacrificing one thing for the other. I would say in pregnancy, we're not pushing like 1 rep max strength anymore. We're trying to maintain the strength that we do have and trying to continue staying strong. Just realize that and understand it, and keep that in mind if you have nerves around not bracing. Start at a low percentage and then progress in a manner that you feel most comfortable, knowing that, look, pregnancy is not the time to like push my 1 rep max, push my 5 rep max even. I'm staying in an RPE or a reps in reserve range that is appropriate for me.
What is reps in reserve?
Oh, okay. When you're kind of measuring how hard a set is, you can use reps in reserve, and that helps you think. So just think about, I just did a set, and I could tell myself like, absolutely not, 0 reps in reserve. There's no chance that I could have lifted another rep. There's no chance that I could have even lifted another 5 pounds. That's like a full max lift when you see someone and they're like, 0 reps in reserve. 1 rep in reserve, you can tell someone is lifting very hard, but maybe they had 1 left. So during pregnancy, you want to kind of stay in this like 3 to 5 reps in reserve range, maybe even a little lower. You're never going to failure. You're staying in a RIR that is 3 and higher, and RPE wise, you would call it like a 7. 6.5, 7, maybe you could push 8 on certain lifts. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing our technique session with Vanessa. Let me know what you guys want to see, or if you liked watching this video and want to see more videos like this, because we have our second client of the day. Briar's here. Hello. And actually, if you guys watched my ACFT series, Briar is in Army ROTC, so she's aiming for those perfecto ACFT scores like I once tried to do. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.